Welcome to the Sage pre-trip. This part is part A. Okay. First thing we're going to check is the driver vehicle inspection report. Make sure that there's no write-ups, makes the truck safe to operate for the next day. Okay. We're going to start up high. The truck is 13.6. Okay, there is no apparent damage. My clearance lights up there are all clean, clear, and unbroken, as well as my headlights and corner indicators. My mirrors are secure and not damaged. My license plate and HUD sticker are up to date, current. And I look underneath, the truck is not leaking and it is not lean. Now we're going to the passenger side. Okay, on the passenger side of the motor, we are going to mention our radiator through here. It is securely mounted, not damaged, not leaking. Our upper radiator hose has no abrasions, bulges, or cuts and is not leaking. Down underneath here, we have our alternator. It is securely mounted. There are no exposed wires on it or corrosion, and it is belt driven. The belt has no more than 3/4 of an inch of free play on it. We're going to check the windshield washer fluid. It is securely mounted, not damaged, not leaking, has fluid in it, and the cap is tight. On the driver's side, we are going to start up here with the wiper. It has the proper spring tension and the blade is in good shape. We are now going to move down to the airline cluster. It has no abrasions, bulges, cuts, and is not leaking. What feeds the airline cluster is back in here, and that is our air compressor. It is securely mounted, not damaged, not leaking, and it is gear driven. Also back in here is our power steering pump. It's gear driven, securely mounted, not damaged, not leaking. All hoses to and from have no abrasions, bulges, and cuts and are not leaking. We're going to move out here to our dipstick. You pull it out, wipe it off, put it back in, and check the oil level. If I had to add oil, I add it up here, and the cap is secure. Okay, now we're going to move up to the coolant reservoir. It is securely mounted, not damaged, not leaking. The cap is tight. It is in the safe operating level. All hoses to and from have no abrasions, bulges, cuts, or leaks. Moving down, our water pump is in here, along with the lower radiator hose. They are both securely mounted, not damaged, not leaking. Has no abrasions, bulges, cuts on the hose. And the pump is belt driven. The belt has no more than 3/4 of an inch free play on it. Moving out to the power steering reservoir. Power steering reservoir is securely mounted, not damaged, not leaking. Caps are tight. It is in the proper operating level. And all lines to and from have no abrasions, bulges, or cuts. My steering shaft has no more than 10 degrees of free play and has 2 serviceable U-joints on it. Moving down to my steering box, it is securely mounted, not damaged, not leaking. Again, all hoses leading to and from have no abrasions, bulges, or cuts. My pitman arm, my drag link, and my tie rod are all securely mounted with castle nuts and not damaged or cracked. Okay. Now I'm going to go on to my suspension. My spring hangers, my leaf springs, and my U-bolts are all securely mounted, not damaged. The springs have no cracks or separations in them. I'm going to come over to my shock absorber. My shock absorber is securely mounted, not damaged, and not leaking. It attaches to my frame, which has no illegal welds or aftermarket holes on it. Is not bent or cracked or damaged. My air lines for my brakes have no abrasions, bulges, cuts, or leaks. Along with that is my ABS wire. It is securely mounted on both ends and has no exposed wires. My brake canister is securely mounted, not damaged, not leaking. My push rod and slack adjuster are securely mounted and have no more than 1 inch of free play with the brakes released. My brake linings have at least 1/4 inch of pad on them and they are not damaged or cracked. My brake drum is not damaged or cracked, and has no grease, oil, or debris on it. Moving out to my tires. My tread depth, evenly worn, at least 430 seconds, and the tire cannot be a recap. My sidewalls have no abrasions, bulges, cuts, or leaks. My rim has no bends, cracks, or illegal welds or aftermarket holes. My lug nuts are all tight. They have no shiny threads or rust trails that could indicate a loose lug. My valve stem is centered in the hole, has a metal cap. We have checked the air pressure with a tire pressure gauge and set it to the manufacturer's specifications. The hub is secure, not damaged, not leaking, and to the proper operating level. My service and emergency airlines have no abrasions, bulges, cuts, or leaks. They're secure to the trailer with the glad hands. My electric line has no exposed wires, and it is locked in place at both ends. They are not tangled. They are not dragging on the catwalk. The catwalk is secure and has no debris on it. My trailer apron is not bent, cracked, or damaged. There is no space between the fifth wheel and the trailer apron. My fifth wheel is locked in place with the locking jaw handle. This is a sliding fifth wheel. It is locked in place with the pins. My fifth wheel is secured to the frame with all of the proper hardware. At this time, I go around the back and I check the locking jaws on the fifth wheel. This time I'm checking the locking jaws, and the locking jaws are securely across the kingpin.